Yo, sir.
Yo.
What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
Good stuff.
Could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, cool. I always get nervous with these things, with this, you know, IG Live. It's a different world, you know what I'm saying?
It's sometimes like if you have even the shittiest of Wi-Fi. Oh, can I cuss on here, bro?
Yeah, yeah, you're good, you're good.
You even have the shittiest of Wi-Fi at all, it messes it up so much. It's really crazy.
Oh, it's horrible. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy that this was like my worst nightmare starting doing interviews. Like, I'm like, please never have to do like virtual stuff like this. And then quarantine hit, and I was like, dang, like, it
Yeah, because
happened.
I remember it was in person, and in person is just a different.
Yeah, right?
But I see you're working though. You got shit going on. That's a lot of interviews.
Yeah, I've been trying to stay consistent, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure, it's
because,
hard in quarantine. I commend you for that.
yeah, I mean, the one positive thing I will say, it was kind of like a blessing and a curse because you could literally schedule interviews like how we're scheduling. Otherwise, before, I mean, it was if y'all were in Chicago or if I was in LA, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, there's
it's,
everything, all this shit, but it's a weird thing, bro. You got my afro looking crazy.
I,
You put the
you,
in my name, bro.
yeah, man, yeah.
You
The
fuck with
hair
me,
thing,
bro.
though, you know what's weird about the thing I use? It like, it doesn't make your hair bigger. It was, how could I explain? It like fades out your image from the back.
I saw like the blur of it in the back.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna stop using it because I've actually started to stop using it because I was like, it just looks better with a regular photo. So,
nah, I was turning things.
could you hear me?
Nah, I'm just giving you shit. It's funny because
Oh,
like I look,
like,
it's just my jacket, just the whole ensemble. It's funny. It's funny.
but no, first I want to start from well, no, first to ask you, how's quarantine for you? How was it? What did you think? We're a year in. What's your thoughts? How have you felt? Yeah,
Yeah,
just tell me how's it going?
yeah. I mean, it's good. I like to be. I think for some people, like it's good because I kind of like to be like to myself a lot too. So
Mhm.
I don't mind. I wouldn't say I like to be by myself, but I don't mind having alone time. So it's been cool to. I haven't been one of the ones to like go um, to have a really hard time with it. It's kind of
Mhm.
weird. Obviously everything's changing when you go to restaurants, when you do things, when you can't sit down and do all that. But it's been a cool, to me at least, in my opinion, it's been a cool time to just spend time with myself and get to know different aspects of who I am and watch the world kind of.
Yeah.
But it's a weird time though. It's so weird. It feels so weird. Um, but I'm glad that it's like in a good way for me. I'm okay with spending time by myself and reflecting and yeah, just like they said. Um, but yeah, how about you? How about your quarantine? How has that been?
I was gonna say, like, I'm the exact same way. I'm the type of person where people would tell me before, like, how could you just chill in your apartment by yourself? And I'm like, I'm completely content. Like, I'm my own best friend. I don't need, like, or some people need like a couple, 4 or 5 friends, coming over to hang out or watch a movie or just like eat dinner or like, I've never been like that. I've always been like, not saying I don't have friends. It's just, I'm good. Like, I don't, you know, um, but otherwise, quarantine wasn't too bad, I feel. Like
Good.
I was good. I mean, it could be worse, you know what I'm saying? Like as long as I have a job and I still got to do this and got a roof over my head and, safe and healthy. I mean, it's just a little detour in our lives that we'll remember for to the day we die. You know what I'm
For sure.
saying?
I was gonna say like even just that I'm blessed enough to. I think everyone who's here and healthy and can continue to create and do what they do every day, there's a blessing in all that because it didn't go as well for a lot of people, but that's good that I'm glad to hear that. It's a good time. It's a good thing to be alone sometimes. I think when the world gets back to normal, we'll be completely different people, better people. I think as far as empathy and just appreciating time together more.
Yeah. But you know what the
So
funny thing about the whole quarantine though is, like, ever since I was little, I never liked people like in my personal space.
yeah, yeah.
I've always been like, yo, could you, like, if I'm
You
at a club or a bar, I'm like, yo, could you back up or I'll back up. I've never liked people, like, my own family's like, Nick, come on now. Like, we're your family. I'm like, I know, but you're just too close. Like,
so you've always
yo,
like just off the rip. You were just like,
yeah. So it's a blessing in a way because now everyone's like, yo, 6 feet away. I'm like, hey, I've been like that since, since I've been young. So I'm like,
I'm good.
that's no, yeah, I'm good. Like, just step up. Like, if I can smell your breath, or yeah,
Or feel it in any way. Yeah, feel
yeah,
hot
it's a situation. Like,
body.
so it hasn't been bad. But I guess we want to break it down. From the beginning of your career through current. So
Yep.
growing up, you grew up in Florida. How was Florida? Because I've heard pros and cons. A lot of pros I heard about
Yeah.
Florida.
Probably a lot
So
of
how was it for you?
It's good, man. It's Florida is well, I can only speak on like my city, which is Sarasota. Um,
Hmm.
it's central west coast of Florida. Um, it's an amazing town. Like I think Florida. I mean, obviously you hear about it for the beaches. You hear about it for like the partying, and you hear about it for the gators and all the wildlife. And it's a weird mix of like it's a city, but it's also the country, and it's also tropical. So like
Hmm.
you can there's sky rises and high buildings in the city and downtown, and then you could go to the country and there's cows and there's
Yeah.
farm animals, and then you could go to the beach and it's a tropical paradise. So it's a weird um mix of everything. It's a good vibe. It's a diverse town. um 80 like a big percent of our population is over 80 years old. I think
Hmm.
over 70 years old, so it's a big retirement community. But uh it was amazing. The arts are here. The arts are prevalent. There's a lot of museums. There's a lot of theater companies. There's a lot of events that go on in Florida, in Sarasota, and Florida that like bring the arts together. So it was kind of the perfect like place for me as a kid. You were never bored, really. It was a good vibe. People are nice here.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a good vibe.
I want to ask you, like, during quarantine, did you get to go home or did you just stay out in LA?
I'm home now. So
Oh, you're home. Okay, dope.
yeah. So quarantine. Like I just home is always therapeutic for me, and I never realized until I left to go to LA. I left at 19, but um, yeah, I mean, it's a re-grounding when I can come home. Like it makes me, it re-energizes me. It refuels my spirit to kind of remember what I started doing this for in the first place.
Hmm.
Um, so when quarantine happened, I was always thinking about coming home and getting a studio space, which I'm in now, and kind of renting one out and just chilling. So that's what I did. I've been home for since December, and have
Okay.
forth to LA shooting stuff for the EP and shooting videos, and then I've been in Atlanta a few times. So yeah, I'm here now.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, like I moved to LA. Well, I think I seen y'all last time when you performed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I moved back since Corona, but it's a beast. I'm not gonna lie. It's a,
LA.
yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's fun for, like connecting and, industry and all the work is there. Don't get me wrong, but like finding, how could I say, real friends, yeah.
Well, that I mean, I always said like, and it's I don't want to even scare people from LA, but it's just you have to. I mean, it's work. My mentors always tell me work is work. Like, you know,
Hmm.
you can't expect to make your best friends at work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
home and work is work, and it really boils down to when you come out to LA. I think it really makes you realize that like it's not even about attaining any village or people to ride with you forever in LA. It's just about connecting the dots and trying to make the brand happen in LA
Yeah.
rather than
No.
trying to live and like have a best friend slumber party. Like that's not gonna happen in LA because everyone's rightfully so. I'm not mad at anyone, but everyone's out there for themselves.
Yeah.
They're out there to get what they can, and that's
I mean,
I
I
can't,
get it. I
yeah,
get it.
I can't
But
do
at the
anything.
same, exactly, like the thing I didn't believe, so many people told me, like I went to a couple industry parties, like up in, West Hollywood Hills and, all the exclusive spots. And I never believe when people say, like, when you go to LA, you're gonna meet people. Like I've been to LA tons of times before I moved there, but being at these parties and people would literally come up to you and just be like, "Hey, so what do you do?"
Yeah.
I didn't know that was like, I thought it was just like kind of like something like a myth almost, like, oh yeah, but it was real. Every single person that came up to me was like, "Oh, so what do you do?" I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, "Damn."
Yeah. They're trying to figure out what they're, how they can connect with you and how to work and collaborate and all that stuff. So it's a, I always say it's like, it's not the jungle, but it's like, you got to go out there and it's, it's work time when you go out there. Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, I mean, I love it for what it is. I love it so much because it forces you to do your best at all
Yeah.
times. So I like that. And coming home really, coming home gives you so much clarity because then the grass is always greener, I guess. So when you're somewhere for a long time,
Hmm.
good to step out of it. And then now I realize the blessings of LA. And now I'm trying to get back sooner, so,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
but,
can't wait for LA to open up. Like hopefully we're on the way, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
But go back to your childhood, you started singing at 5.
yeah.
So like at that age, like did your parents right away were like, "Yo, we're gonna get you into some things," or was it kind of you? You were like just early on thinking like, "Hey, I want to be a part of this."
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, music was always around. It was just me and my mom growing up. So I'm an only child, single mother. So she was always playing music. I mean, my mom loves music. She can't sing at all for her life. Please sing, um, but she loves it with all her heart. She's a very musical person, and she has a diverse music taste. So she would, we would drive to Disney World and all these different places, and every time in the car we'd be playing, like everywhere from Shania Twain to Michael Jackson to um, Kenny Chesney to rap music, like just a bunch of different stuff. So I always was listening to music, singing with her. She would, sing and be like, "Sing it," and then I would go and, um, but yeah, I mean, I guess when I say I started singing at 5 is, I guess that I should say that's when I realized that 5 years old is when I kind of realized that I could have an effect on people through singing.
Okay.
I think at 5 I did the first talent show, like the kindergarten talent show,
Yeah.
and I didn't even sing. I just kind of I loved basketball back then, and that's when Like Mike came out, and that little Bow Wow song, they're playing basketball.
Basketball. Yeah.
I just like dribbled the ball and spun it on my finger and kind of was just entertaining first, and then I did the talent show throughout elementary school, and every year I would just see that like I could make people smile. Like during that little section of it, they kind of forgot about everything. It was really cool as a kid. I was like, I kind of felt like I had like a superpower that like was pretty cool. I was like, yo, that's cool that like they're all clapping and like, yeah, it
Yeah.
was cool. So yeah, I mean, music kind of crept up after basketball.
Okay.
I started loving music a little bit more than basketball around like age 10 or 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope, dope. And then tell me about how you auditioned for America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Because
So
that had to be, I mean, I've heard so many people go through the whole, like, it's not, everyone thinks it's just that main audition. It's literally like a lot. I know you go through a lot of producers and, how was that whole process? And you were young.
yeah, I was 12. So I was in sixth grade. Um, and that's around the time like my mom was just asking me like, yo, you should pick between basketball and music and like what do you like more? Just because I wasn't having time to do both. I was traveling, doing basketball and also trying to do music. So I'd miss rehearsal, I'd miss practice. So I don't know. I was just at school one day and I looked and I saw America's Got Talent was coming to Orlando and just I don't I don't make my decisions ever off like since I was a kid, I don't ever make decisions off of like anything else but like gut feeling,
Yeah.
like super gut feeling as most people do. But
It's the best way to be.
yeah, I felt it so much. I was like, man, like it called me for some reason, and like I couldn't stop thinking about going to audition, and I would visualize it. I could see myself auditioning, so I was like, "Ma, I want to go audition." And at the time, my grades weren't good, so she was like talking to my mentors, like, "Nah, like I should let him go." And one of my mentors, Nate Jacobs, that runs the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, he was like, "Josephine, you got to let him go if he like wants to do this that passionately, then let him do it." So the first audition, yeah, you're right. We saw like 5 different sets of judges in the first audition, like the one that wasn't even on TV. It's probably like 20,000 people in an auditorium.
Phew.
That'll call you in, just like 6, 7 at a time, and they'd be like, sing, stop, sing, stop, sing, stop. And so I did my thing, however many times they asked, probably all day, and then they called back. It was really like a 3-month long process before I even got on TV.
It's insane. It's that long of a.
Yeah, it was cool because you think it's so quick how TV shows you, but it's not at all. So, um, but yeah, that's how I auditioned. I sang some Stevie Wonder song for the audition and danced and tried to like flirt with the judges and shit. Um, they liked it, I guess. So yeah,
Who, a question, who were the judges at that time? Because I know they switched up a couple.
yeah, they switched. So that was the first year, I think. How it was season 5, so that was Howie's first season, and then it was Howie Mandel, Sharon Osbourne, and Piers Morgan.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's an honor. I mean, that's just something to have in your, like, your resume. That's,
for
and like you
sure.
said, making it to television, that's
Yeah,
the hardest part. Because I know so many people that made it, like you were saying, the third, fourth audition, and then, that's it.
yeah.
They're cut and nothing's ever shown. I'm like, damn, you did all of that and you're not even seen. So
It was fun, man. It was yeah, it was a good experience. And then being on TV, like the first time I got on TV was really cool. And then we ended up, I made it to Vegas after that. And then from Vegas, I went to LA and did one live show there, and it was cool, man. It's like, not to like call them out, but obviously it's TV, and it wasn't really what I wanted to do. They kind of scripted
yeah.
for it, but other than that, it was just dope. It was like my first time in LA. I was like, yo, like we're making it, man.
Yeah.
It was a good feeling. I was 12, bro. Like, and
Yeah. It's huge at 12.
yeah, it was a good feel. It was cool. I came back home and had a great time at school. They were equally giving me shit at the same time, calling me names. Also, the girls loved me, so it was fun. It was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then tell me, like, so how did you get a part of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe? Like, was that something you did? Because I know that you're with the team, you're with the group.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Just being a part of it, and then touring the country, and then touring other parts of the country, of the world, actually. How was that for you? And like you said, still a young age.
Yeah. So the theater. So are you meaning the theater still?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got into the theater. So I met when I first wanted to really sing.
Hmm.
There was this guy in Sarasota. His name's EJ Porter, and it's too long of a story to really tell you how I met him. But my mom knows his brother.
Okay.
EJ in Sarasota is kind of the go-to producer to work with. So my mom was talking to one of the a young guy that she was working with at her work, and he was telling her like, yo, my brother is a producer and he's really dope, and I know your son wants to sing, so maybe I should show him a video clip of him at the talent show. I was like in 4th grade, and she was like, cool. So he showed his brother the clip of me performing, and then EJ was like, I like him, like bring him to the thing. I was like 9 or something. Went to EJ's studio. We started recording. We created a really dope relationship. And then just looking for more opportunities, EJ knew the founder of this theater company. And he was like, if you ever need a young kid to cast in a show, I have one for you. So he was doing, Nate, who's the founder of the theater, was doing a show and it needed a little Michael Jackson. So he hit me up and I auditioned, and I mean, I'm just lucky, bro, because like I've really just found like musical soulmates throughout my journey. Like luckily,
Yeah.
like I don't know why or how, but like we clicked so well that like we just kept working. So it wasn't really anything I did or anything he did. It was just that like it was just meant to be, and we kept working, and that's how I kind of got involved. He liked who I was as a young man. I respected and loved who he was as a grown person and what he was doing in the community, and
Hmm.
yeah, so
That's super dope. And like, I think it's awesome that you did that too at such a young age. It kind of like makes you kind of mature for that industry. You know what I'm saying? Like going across the country, going to different countries around the world, like kind of because I hear so many people that, get signed at a, more like late teenage years or early 20s and they never experienced it. So like it's all new to them and sometimes they can't handle it. So like,
sure.
was it a blessing for you just to kind of feel everything at such a young age and kind of know the ropes like down the line now? You're like, oh, I did that already. So I'm used to this world.
Yeah, there, in a way, for sure. I mean, yeah, we would travel a lot with the theater. Like I was, I went to Germany with them and did a few shows out there, which is crazy. And um, yeah, it is. I mean, the industry, the music industry is for adults.
Yeah.
So um, if you're a child in the industry, you're not going to be around a lot of other kids, and you're going to be around older people, older influences, and like definitely that was um, yeah, I mean, America's Got Talent, between the theater, between all the stuff that we're gonna talk about that came later. Like, definitely, I had some sort of inkling of what it would take as far
Yeah.
as the payment aspect of music, for sure. Definitely was a blessing. Most people can get blindsided by that part of it. Um,
Hmm.
but I got blindsided by other things too. I got blindsided by like the inner workings of the end. There, so I'm blessed for sure, but yeah, there's still work to be done for sure.
Yeah, and then tell me about you dropped your debut album in 2013. So
Hmm.
what was that like? Like
So
you opened up for Mindless Behavior, you dropped the album. How was that whole? Because that had to be super exciting because you're solo, you're young, where it's exciting. I mean, I'm not saying it's not exciting still now, but at that age, you're just like, it's a different exciting.
for sure, no, for sure. Like, so after America's Got Talent, um, we were on the plane coming home after I got eliminated, and my mom was like, she was like, "So you sure this is what you want to do? Like, is this you like you saw that? Like, is this what you want to do in your life?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah.
And so then we kind of started. Then I started to think about my own music, my original music, and I started getting in the studio with EJ and crafting what that sounds like with me being on a record. And we just made a lot of music. We made like a lot of songs. We were working with writers locally. He would produce a lot of it. And then we went on tour of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Starting in 2011, we would do like maybe 20 to 25 cities in a certain state or a certain region.
Hmm.
We would go and just like do a free show for the kids and have an inspiring message behind it. And that's kind of where the album started. Like the idea of the album started. We were on tour and we were like, we should do like an EP or something. I mean, we had no clue what we were doing, but we were watching, you know, the guys who I wanted to be like Jacob Lattimore, Trevor Jackson, like all.
Yeah.
We were just looking at them like, hey, we should drop some music. And so yeah, we got in 2000. I forgot when it was, but I was 16 when we dropped it, and yeah, I it was the same. I mean, to be honest, I've looking back, I've been doing the same thing for a long time, and like it's really cool. Like um, we crafted 5, 6 songs about how I was feeling at the time of being 16, called the album
Yeah.
16. Um, yeah, and just released it, and wanted I just really wanted it to be something that like if any other 16 or 15-year-olds were listening, that they could relate to and kind of fuck with, you know?
Yeah, no, that's super dope. Like, and just
It was
getting,
exciting though, bro. Like it was like,
yeah, at that age,
yeah, it was really exciting. Just my whole life, really. Like when I look back, like everything, it's and I can't like I have to give it up to like the people around. It's really the people around you. Sometimes I feel guilty because like I've had really weird support, just like weirdly awesome support. And sometimes I'm like, damn, like I didn't do anything for it, but my mom like quit her job and was managing my career. Like my
Yeah.
producer who just didn't have to do anything to do with me, like would work with me all the time and like would want to get, make music and make it better. Nate at the theater would want to, and we weren't paying none of these people, like
Hmm.
it
Just
became
the
fan.
passion. It's the love of the game. Like it's just,
So, um, it's just like, yeah, looking back, it's music has been the forefront of it the whole time. And I don't plan to like stop it at all, but yeah, it was really exciting. Good time
yeah, it's super dope. And like having, like you said, your mom backing you, like that's a tough thing
for
to
sure.
quit your job. Like it's a lot to, and just kind of go after it and just,
For
that's
sure.
super dope. Yeah.
She was, we were mapping out tours. We were raising money. We were, don't, donors from the theater would come and help, and we would present things we'd want to do, like, hey, on tour and talk to these kids. They're like, damn, that's awesome. Here's some money, get it done. And like, I just can't complain. I really can't complain about anything like in my life. It's just all been blessings and fun. So
Yeah. And how was it opening for Mindless Behavior? Because I know I remember seeing videos online and like malls being shut down. Their fans, like those girls literally will pass out. Like literally like hyperventilate
for
and
real,
pass out.
definitely, bro, I've seen it. Like, and mindless behavior, like, was, I mean, everyone here knows they were huge, man. Like everyone looked up to. If you were a fan of R&B, like you looked up to mindless behavior, and um, I loved Ray Ray and Princeton Swag and like all these guys. So I was really excited, bro. Like, and that was really, and I always stage. The stage is where I'm most comfortable and most happy at all times.
Yeah.
Stage and kind of the studio and behind and like in front of a camera, I'm very happy there. So when I was coming up, I was really like, I was getting impatient. I was like, man, I'm trying to do big shows. Like I want to do big shows like with somebody and shit. And so then that happened. I was in 10th grade. Um, and I had put out my album, and this promoter got in touch with EJ, and it just happened, bro. It was the crazy. When we got the call, he was like, yeah, you're gonna go on tour with Mindless. Like we got out the car, we were screaming and running down the street and shit. But it was amazing. They're stars. They taught me a lot. Um, Watching them on stage every night, and also it gave me the confidence to like. It gave me and my team the confidence to kind of like know that what we were doing was working. Like I was
Yeah.
get a good response, and
Yeah, because you kept on growing. Like it just kept on.
and but just, I mean, we're always weary. We're just always realistic of like what's real. You know what I'm saying? And what's the facts, and like the we just did well there. So it was a good confidence boost that we needed, because you always need to kind of see good results to want to go forward. Um, so that was big for us. And we did like 6 shows, 4 to 6 shows throughout the Southeast region. And yeah, it was
Yeah.
so lit. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that's huge. Like so like you said, at your age, oh my God, that's like the dream type of tour. Like,
It was really cool. It's fucking cool.
yeah.
Like like there'd be 1,500 kids. Like they were the coolest dudes. Like it was just yeah, it felt really good. It was um there were definitely girls passing out for them for sure. It was crazy. It was awesome. Like after the first show, they sat on the side of the stage and watched the show the first time I performed, and like when I got off stage, they were just like, "Yo, that was a great show," and like they're just good dudes,
Hmm.
talented. It was good to be around and watch. Definitely learn from them for sure.
That's dope. And one thing I really like about like you and Next Town Down, how you all tell me about how you met, because I think it's awesome that it was organic. It really wasn't like, because you hear so many horror stories about, groups being put together and it just five total different personalities that didn't have no connection at all until, you know, they were put on TV or, you know, made by this big producer or manager. But tell me about how you all met, because you all met in a dope way, in an organic way, and just like seeing each other's talent.
Yeah. Um, that is true. I mean, so I guess like the short story of it really is, yeah, we all, I mean, so this was senior year for me, October of 2015. We were I was just looking for the next thing to do. I was in my head working on a project, um, the idea of a project. I was getting producers I wanted to work with, beats. I was collecting beats. I was collecting features I want to do.
Hmm.
Was just looking for the next thing to happen. And while doing school, again, EJ, my producer locally, got this call um, from somebody from a vocal coach in New York, and he was like, "Man, this guy in New York, he really wants to hear you sing." So he sent a video of one of my live performances to this vocal coach, and the vocal coach immediately put me in touch um, with Trey. He was like, "Yo, have you seen this kid Trayvon?" He was like, "This kid can sing. Y'all should chop it up." So I was like, "Yo, he's dope." So I went, hit Trey up. We were talking, and then um, Trey then introduced me to Terrence through Instagram, and we start all kind of DMing because you know back then everyone was posting videos, singing,
Hmm.
all that shit. So um, we all just got, us three just kind of connected, and like I said, it's like musical soulmates. So it wasn't there
Yeah.
was too much forcing that needed to happen. It was just genuine, like, hey, yo, you can sing, bro. Like, I like your style, and they're like, yo, I like your style. So time went on. Never thought about doing the group stuff at all. We just were boys trying to like collaborate. Um, and then I think Terrence was getting done with school. Same with Trey. They were getting done with school, and they were like, I'm still in high school at this time, and they were like, yo, like I think we should all move to Atlanta. And I'm like, damn, I can't come. Like, I got first period tomorrow. Like, so they were like, it's all good. Me and Terrence will move to Atlanta, and then you can just come up all the time because it's close to Florida. So that's what they did. They moved in Atlanta, and I would go visit. Like, I was basically like living there with them too. And we started singing, making videos, kind of just like singing around the house, kind of just collaborating with each other. And it just clicked one day. We were in Atlanta and we were out, and there was people looking at us, and there was girls looking at us, and we were like,
Hmm.
what? Like, are we cool? Like, like, are we like, and we were like, maybe we should start a group, you know? And so we got in touch with that vocal coach that had put us in touch in the first place. And he was like, man, I'm so glad you said that. I know the perfect guys that are looking for a group like that. So we were like, man, that's fucking awesome. So he put us in touch with our two managers, Max and Dan, and they lived in New York at the time. And we started. They had the funding and the ability to make things happen, and they wanted to manage us, and they believed in what our idea was for five guys, kind of bringing back the old soul singing harmony,
Yeah. The
but
good music.
modernized at the same time. So um, they loved it. So we just got started, and then we all figured, we were like, man, we're old men. Like, we need young guys, you know, like we need some youth. So we went on YouTube, looked up young Michael Jackson, just looked that up, and then he Leon came up on the screen, and then we were like, oh, he's dope. So we got in touch with him. Um, we went through a process of like going through a bunch of people, and Malik and him just stood out in a way that was different. So we all linked up in December of 2016 in LA. And as soon as I met Malik, he was like, I never met Malik in my life. And he got in the car with our manager, and he was like, I was like, what's good, man? He was like, yo, what's up? And he looks at our manager. He's like, yo, you got an aux cord? And I was like, yeah, this is our guy. This, you know, because so it just fit. Like I told you, I can't tell you any other way. Like, you just gotta find your 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 professional soulmates will find you.
Yeah.
I'm saying so. Those are it. Just happened. Like as soon as we sang together, we sang "Thinking Out Loud" that night that we met, and it was just history from there, bro. It was amazing. Like it's a great story of how the internet can really bring people together. It's really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of blessings with the internet, like for real. Like if it wasn't for social media and like YouTube, I think about, I mean, yeah, you could get far still, but not as far, I feel, as some of us have with, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a blessing and a curse. You know, there's a lot of cons about it, but there's so many pros about it. Because
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't be doing this right now if it wasn't for, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, everything, every great thing, like every great, amazing, big, iconic thing comes with such greatness, but it comes with such not greatness at the same time. So you got to
yeah,
take both, but always just try to utilize the good stuff, you know?
no,
So,
definitely.
yeah, so it was a great time. That was, and then we started posting on YouTube, kind of getting the journey started in February of 2017. So, um, it was a quick turnaround from Malik. December, he figured out he was going to be in the group, and then February we started going. So it was a quick, but it all worked. It was cool.
Yeah. Then I want to ask you, like, how was it? Because I know you all still live together in LA when you go back to LA, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So well, um, so for a second we were all living together, and
Hmm.
then because as you know, Leon, he's young, so like there's a law that says you can't um, somebody under 30 somebody under 30 can't uh, like an under 18-year-old can't be alone and not accompanied by there's some law
Oh,
that
someone can't
yes
gotta be people 30 and over.
right. So he
Mm.
lived down the street with his big sister, but it was literally like 2 minutes up the street. um but yeah, other than that, we were all together all the time. Yeah.
That's sick. How was it and how was it? Like just beginning that and then still doing. I mean, because that's super dope. Like you could work together, like you said, make your YouTube videos. You know, come up
Yeah,
with ideas, harmonize everything.
it was amazing. I mean, bro, like that was like to me it was and to the boys as well, we talk about it all the time. Like to us it was like college. It was
Yeah,
like a full ride scholarship to industry university, and like kind of um getting to sit in with the biggest and best and watch and observe and be around and learn and soak in, and it was just a blessing to be able to do it with other people, so I didn't feel crazy the whole time, and that there was other people going through the same exact shit.
yeah,
But it was, bro, it was amazing. Half the time I didn't know what was going on. We were so young, we didn't know
yeah,
what you know um got to tell you, a lot of the stuff we were doing like wasn't necessarily fully our vision. um and I think that can wear on acts. But needless to say, it performed so well and connected with people. Everything we would do, and we noticed that. So it was the best time of my life, man. We were doing crazy shit, just having fun, working so much, loving
yeah,
the. It was fun. It was the most
yeah.
I had in my life for sure.
Well, yeah, that's next I want to talk about. You know, touring with you and the guys. How was that? I mean, y'all look like y'all had. I remember just watching y'all even before the show, just like the meet and greets, like meeting the fans. Like y'all weren't rushing the people. Y'all were literally like hanging with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you can't hang with them forever, but you gave them an actual meet and greet because you know sometimes those meet and greets are literally picture bye,
Yeah,
like not even a hug, picture
yeah,
bye.
yeah. You'd be surprised. Some artists, like, I don't know, like they would get mad at me for that though. Like I mean, and it wasn't even me. I'm blessed, man. That's all really. It's like these guys, there was no assholes in this group. Like there's no jerk in this group.
Yeah,
Everyone just has an amazing heart, and that's really like rare. So yeah, like every time we'd see that was the highlight of our whole time, is touring and seeing the fans. Um, because in a weird way, like I don't know how people can get just in a weird way, we could just feel the familyness of everything, the family feeling of it. And like, who wouldn't want to, I think we all were mature enough to understand, like, and experienced enough, and we're such fans of music, we would want to talk to who we look up to. We wouldn't want them to
Yeah.
put us off in a thing. Like, if we look up to somebody and spend our money with somebody and buy their product and enjoy their music and consume their music, I would love to have a full conversation with that person. You know what I'm saying? That would make
Hmm.
my heart feel great. So I think we all understood that, and understood that could be a way we could differentiate how we, how we're perceived to people. Like, some artists, you don't want to walk up to them and try to ask them something because they have a history. Like, you don't want them to snap on you or do no crazy shit. But like with us,
Yeah.
we love talking to the fan. Like, there'd be times where we just chill and just kick it. They'd find us after the show and we'd be like, shit, you found us. Like, let's hour. Like, so yeah, touring was so fun. The shows were so much energy. Um,
Yeah, I got videos from them. Man, they are like
Shit, for sure.
they're lit. Like your
That's
fans go hard. Like
it's crazy, and like you don't even realize because we're just in the booth, we're like in rehearsal, and we're kind of just prepping for it, but we don't even understand that like when we get on stage and the fans start singing that shit back, it's just I'm
every word, every song, like from beginning to end to
great.
encore, literally. Like it didn't stop. Like yeah, that'd be a good ass feeling. Like just
It was amazing, and like and that was um we did a limited amount of touring too. Like, I wanted obviously everyone, including us to tour more, but the best times ever, bro. Best times ever.
yeah. And what
Sure.
was it like? I mean, when you all got signed, I was so happy because I think I interviewed you all right before that happened, or not far off.
Yeah, it was right before you interviewed us. I want to say um February of 2019, maybe.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Because that's
And
right before I moved to LA. Yep, it
yes,
was in the yep.
and then we got signed in March, literally like right the next month after, and we it felt amazing, bro. Like, so that was, to me, that was like, since I was a kid, that was the goal. So like, I guess if whoever's listening that has a goal, like this is what you should walk away with. Like, it took, like, since America's Got Talent, that was my goal, is to get a record deal
Mm-hmm.
and be a signed artist. And it took 10 years for that to happen. And like, so when it did, I was like, oh my gosh, this shit's crazy. I never would have thought it'd be in a group. Never would have thought, but like, I was just like, man, I'm a signed artist. Like, that's fucking amazing. We all just had moments where we're like Chris Brown's our label. Like, what? Like,
Yeah, like
our label mate, So it was a
RCA got some of the biggest. Oh my God, the roster is insane.
roster. So it's like, and and in my opinion, they're the best label out. And like, and it was just an honor. It was just an honor that people were receiving what we were putting out. Um, and that the execs and the suits up in the industry kind of understood the brand and thought that it could be as big as we thought too.
Yeah, one thing I really liked about what you all did, because I feel like this happens with some artists, but not a lot. You all already released Easy independently,
Hmm.
and then getting Black on it and having it for the official single for with RCA. I thought that was super dope. They didn't make you right because I know you have to sometimes record what the label wants or
Yeah,
listen to these beats or songs. But for them to do that, I thought that was super dope because I feel like that's like rare. You like rebrand you a lot of times. You know what I'm
for,
saying?
for sure. Well, what the cool thing about RCA is that like, and shout out to Tunji and Shireen, and Peter Edge and everyone at the label who believes, Michelle Bodner. But really, Easy is kind of what got us noticed by them. And I think that like we had been, we had a good relationship with Sony ATV through one of our managers, because he worked there. So we were always going to events with seeing, bumping shoulders with executives, and we would
Hmm.
take with them, but they would always just, before Easy came out, they would always just be like, "You guys are dope. You guys are the best singers in the industry, but you guys just aren't ready right now." So as soon as Easy came out, I remember Tunji calling us, and he was like, "Now that's R&B." He was like, "Now that's R&B right there." So, I mean, it's really a kudos to them because they saw something that we did on our own, and they didn't want to touch it. Like they were just like, let us just kind of take it and enhance it rather than
Yeah.
change it. So I respected that a lot, and um, he just kind of let us pick who we wanted on the song, and we were like, "Yo, Black would be crazy," and he's like, "Done." So
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy time. Amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. And that high note you do, god damn, I'm like that. It's so clean. I was like,
Oh,
damn, Crispy killing. Woo. I'm like,
bro, that's like mostly studio effect, but I can get it done live sometimes for sure.
oh yeah. There's, I know, like you said, it's hard to do it every time, but you do it good. You do it justice. I'm gonna tell you that.
Bro, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then like how was it with the EP though? Tell me about like Juliet like releasing it and getting it out there, and like you said, you're with the label now, and that's when, don't get me wrong, when you're independent, yeah, you have a budget, but label, you have a bigger budget. It's just the
yeah,
way it is.
yeah. Um, man, it was it was heaven, bro. Like it was. Well, listen. I mean, listen. Like it was heaven. Like I mean, I want to tell. I just want to be transparent so that anyone who wants to get signed one day realize, it's everything you would imagine. Like it's video shoots. We went from like our manager was talking to us after we shot the videos for Easy and Wonder, and um, he was like, guys, you realize like we just went from having one or two people video shoots to 100 people at your video shoots. Like he was like, this is an amazing moment. So you being signed to a label definitely puts you in a world where it's easy to connect um, with that next stratosphere of artists and that next stratosphere of writer and that next stratosphere of creative people. Um, yeah, it was amazing, bro. Like, but at the same time, the business starts to kick in, and then there's strategy that comes in with that too. So sometimes you can bump heads with strategy, and um, there can be like, just imagine it like if you ordered a dish at a restaurant, if you ordered some pasta and meatballs,
Hmm.
and there were 7 chefs back there that had their own recipe that was like, I have the best recipe. Let me do this. And then he's like, no, I have the best recipe. My mom taught me how to make it this way. This is the way. It's not going to come out really good because you're going to have 7 different ideas of what the best
Yeah.
spaghetti. So sometimes it can get hard in that aspect. But other than that, bro, it was paradise. Like we were partying, we were connecting with artists, man. We were doing good stuff. We were doing big video shoots. It was dope. It was really dope.
Yeah, that's super dope. Like that's just, I think that's like a milestone everyone, dreams of. Especially, I guess, especially today because you hear so many horror stories about, and because today you don't need a label necessarily to give you everything, you
For sure.
know. So it's just a different ball. But I always think of a label, like I'm old school. I just think of like the whole image and label and budget. But I know it's a different world too. Like, independent is kind of the new wave of this industry
Yeah,
along with labels. It's weird. It's a weird like balance, I feel.
yeah, it is a weird balance, but they're good for. I mean, it's all suited towards your own journey. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't try to chase one or the other. Like it should just fall in your lap. You should just let it kind of come because if you chase it, then I don't know. I think both things are amazing. Independent um, artists can do so well, and signed artists can do so well. It's just about like your situation. But for
Yeah.
us, it was amazing, and the only things that kept it from not being amazing was not the music. It was interior stuff going on. But as far as the music, as far as me being an entertainer signed there, no complaints at all. That shit was crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, labels are awesome. It's just like I said, the right situation, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, quarantine hits. What what were you thinking as a group member and then as a solo artist? Because I mean, I feel like a lot of people didn't know. We thought it was going to be maybe 2 weeks or a month, and then
Yeah.
everyone would be, back to normal. What were you all thinking as a group? And then, like I said, as a solo artist, what were you like? What was your mind? Because I'm sure a lot of people, I feel like a lot of artists are freaking out because that's your bread and butter is performing live and that's meeting the fans and just promoting and getting out there.
Yeah, man, it was scary. I think, but I mean, for me to say it's scary, like it was scary for everyone. I think everyone felt this the same essentially. Like, um, when the shit hit, especially like creatives, any person who does entertainment, like journalists, like people who get their coin off of interaction and connection, human connection. So it was scary. We were signed. We were in gear to release a second EP. Um, this was March. This happened after Leon's birthday. We went to Leon's birthday, had a great time, got fucked up, and then not Leon didn't get fucked up, but we got his mom was there. Sorry, but it was great. And then we woke up that next day, and it all hit the airwaves. And I think our first thought was like you said, we thought it was gonna be short. So we kind of were just like,
Mhm.
this is scary. Like, let's get right, but we'll be back. And then as it started like not coming back, I think our thoughts were like, um, how can we still get music and videos out anyway? We can save touring for later. Let's just get music and videos out anyway. So uh, as the months went on, to be completely honest, man, we were working all the time. We were making new music, recording a lot, writing a lot. Um, but then, I mean, we were planned to like honestly, dude. We were geared up probably 3 or 4 times to release. Like we had a release plan. We had things going on. We had like a rollout planned 3 or 4 times during the year of 2020, of just new songs, new material, new videos, everything. And it just never got done, man. Corona, it really like, and I'm speaking as what I was feeling as a group member, but I'll tell you
Mhm.
how. But it just halted a lot for us and like for everyone else. Everyone went into fight or flight mode. Like everyone was trying to save their what they could save and um, maintain what they can maintain. So a lot of the acts that weren't as established on labels and like on rosters and all that, they kind of took a back seat to those things, and that happens a lot. But but yeah, we just kind of we didn't let it discourage us.
Yeah.
We haven't like we kind of just kept working, kept. We would get sick of it though. We'd be so pissed off. We'd be like, all right, so we're not gonna release this. All right, well, that was a month and a half of working up to release some shit, and now it's not gonna happen. And then um, it would happen 2 or 3 times. But we had a good attitude about everything, man. We were just like, man, let's just let light like, let's just ride
Yeah.
the current. That's all you can do. All you can do is just ride the currents. Everything that's happening is just meant to happen. So but individually I was always, man, I can't tell you like how like many ideas go through my head all the time, and just like how like just like America's Got Talent, like there's something in the pit of my spirit that like I need to create.
Yeah.
Like I need like I grew up, the music that I loved growing up, like I'm just a new version of that, and one of my purposes on this earth is to make bodies of work and just songs and moments and videos that like speak to people, like how Frank Sinatra and how Drake and how Chris Brown and Usher and them spoke to me. So I was always, throughout the 4 years of being in the group, I always would have stuff going in my head and kind of just,
Hmm.
to me, I felt like the group would be a good, like I never just always wanted to just do the group. That
Yeah.
was never my intention. Um,
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I think none of us did. I think like I think all of us, I think all of us really kind of wanted it to be, and I think we'll get to that. I wanted it to be a certain way where we kind of all just are artists. We're just artists, and we
Yeah.
just come together. So, but in my head during the quarantine, it was I was happy because I was like, okay, now it gave me time to. You'd be surprised, man, when you don't have an outlet to do what like to, because there's things called brainchilds, like brain children, and like it's important to get out those brain children. Like when you have that idea
Hmm.
you started in your head, that's yours, that it's yours. Um, you'd be surprised how fulfilling and also how pent up and kind of constipated you can get creatively when you don't let those ideas out. So it was good for me to be able to kind of have time to kind of marinate on what I wanted to say, who I wanted to be,
Hmm.
what I wanted to sound like, what I wanted to write about. Um, so it was, in the individual sense, it was great because I like got to dive into myself a lot, and loved it. I loved it, and you know, it kind of balanced out the quarantine like downness of how it felt for everyone, and not doing as much, not being able to go out. So it was good. It was individually it was a good time for me. As a group, it was hard because it was like we wanted to work, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, that's like you said, you just got signed. It's like, come
Mm,
on, like it's like, yeah, you had one EP out, but it's still like, yo, this is about to pop off, and then. But I have a lot of faith in all of y'all because it's just the beginning. It just,
for sure.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just something that unfortunately, yeah, I can't explain. But I want to ask you too, like you said, during quarantine, you were thinking about that, but you were thinking like what time did you think like, hey, I want to do a solo project now? Like what time of the year, what month was it where you were like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna start something and just kind of see where it takes me.
Yeah, so I have always been making music. I had a SoundCloud page since I was like 15, 16,
Hmm.
and I would put my raps up on there. I'd put just songs that I would record on my own in my room. Um, and I always would do that. Like I always have made music, and that's just, and would put it on SoundCloud. Even in the group, like there's times where like 2017, 2018, I would put up songs on SoundCloud and kind of just like not promote them or anything, but just release them just to get them off my chest and shit. So, um, 2020 came around, and I made a commitment to myself. I felt in my spirit that like I needed to train my muscle, just like the Olympics. Like if somebody wants to go into a certain thing in the Olympics, you train that muscle over and over and over and over and over to get it perfected.
Yeah.
So I thought, what's my muscle that I want to do? What do I want to do that I can perfect? And that's making projects and making moments and making visuals and conceptualizing an idea to make it a project. Um, so in 2020, at the beginning of it, my resolution to myself was make an EP every month. Uh,
Okay.
so I would just be like, just make a project every month, put a concept to something, put songs together, put cover art towards it, and so I did that from the start of 2020. I think I got to like 8 projects, and then around August, I started saying like, let me put together like something that I feel like could really um, embody how I felt in 2020.
Okay.
And so I just started working on that, and it came really separated. Like I just record a lot of music and then find songs that can fit together.
Yeah.
The more of the process is just kind of playing them back to back to see which ones fit. But I just record music randomly, and like stories will come out one night and nothing will come one night, and then so yeah, I really was trying to train that muscle, just and make a project every month to kind of get myself ready to do that
Yeah.
efficiently and in a great way.
Well, yeah, how did it feel for, Lovely's been out now, the EP, for 10 official days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's the 29th day, released on the 19th.
Yeah.
So how
Thank
was it for you? Like, and I love that you did before you released it, you had the little like intro video with I thought it was super
you.
dope. Yeah.
This
Like,
is all just
how was it?
this is all just from my heart. Like this is all just for me. I had been like super frustrated, um, regardless of what it looked like to people. But I wasn't in the best place of in the last couple of years, just because I wasn't stepping back and realizing the blessings and everything.
Yeah.
But this is that project was just from my heart solely, bro. Like, and anything I do really like, um, I just did what like I had this idea when at home. I was like, that'd be really cool. I've been watching a lot of like I love old mob movies and like
Uh-huh.
Italian. I love that shit so much. It's like I feel like I
Like
was,
Goodfellas, Donnie Brasco, Casino.
yeah, Goodfellas.
Yeah.
So Goodfellas really spoke to me, and I was like, man, like, and that and just to give you insight on all the cigarette smoking, like that's just for the effect. Like when I it's because like I wanted that effect at those old movies like that. But
Yeah, because they
um,
were always smoking.
always.
Every
But you know what though? Like the smoking to me is an art. Like even with Frank Sinatra, like how he smokes it and how they take
hmm
it while they're talking to the lady is smooth to me. Like just for some reason that's like an art form to me, and I respect it. And and I like how they do it. That's showmanship, to be able to know when to like do it to look. You know what I'm saying? That's
hmm
yeah. I just had an idea. I was like, let's make it real old school like that, and kind of, man, I just was doing what the fuck was like cool, So it feels cool that it's out. It feels, um, I feel naked. I do, because like I know the fans. Like I love the fans so much, but they're so. You guys are so like. You guys can find. Your guys are agents, bro. You guys can find out so much shit. So a lot of people probably know what I'm singing about and shit, and like it feels good to be. I just feel. I feel good, man. It's a good feeling, and I needed to have
a good like weight off of you, like in a way, would you say?
like I just needed to release something and like get something off my chest. Like I'm not here for anything much else. Like artist jobs are really just to like feel things, good and bad, and share it.
Yeah.
Like that's really it's really what an artist is. You just feel things, and then you give it to people, and you keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not doing that, then am I really being who I can be and should be for the
Yeah.
world? So it feels amazing. It feels amazing. So
Yeah. I want to ask you, like right now, off the EP. I know they're all your babies. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick one because I know how that is as an artist. But right now, which song? Like for me, I like Put It Down and Some Way Somehow. Some Way Somehow is actually like it's just a good closer. It's just a good mesh of like rap and singing.
thank
What yeah, what's your favorite song at the moment?
man, that's hard. Like definitely some way somehow. That was the last song I recorded for it. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love all of them. Put It Down, I love too. Like I'm I'm really a maniac with the shit, bro. Like I like it's been months of me listening and listening and changing and listening and like and like I love every single song. But I guess right now I'd say Some Way Somehow.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
right now for sure, for sure.
Yeah. That song goes, it's hard. Like it's
Thank you.
survived. You know what I'm saying? But like how are like when you are recording solo stuff or even with the group, are you the type of artist like I know some people are so hard on themselves. Like
Hmm.
they would literally record, over and over and over, like and it's good already, but you're just like, no, no, another take. Let me just
Yeah,
like how are you?
I'm a maniac. I
Yeah.
like. I'm for sure a maniac. Like I'm almost too. I need to work on like not taking it as seriously. Like
Yeah.
you know, but I love it. Like yeah, when I'm in the studio, like you can ask any of the boys. Like I'm the one doing the most takes, but it's not because they're not good takes. It's just I know exactly like what to do and what
Hmm.
to sound like and stuff. So like I don't stop to like I don't compromise on takes at all. Like
Yeah.
I gotta get the one, and even if I have to, even if like even if everyone's like, dude, please, like, please, bro, please help. I'm just like, nah, run it, you know. So but it's not always like that. I love studio, man. I love that shit. That's where I don't fuck with. I need to start getting other hobbies in my life because I don't.
But you love it. But that makes sense. It's your passion. It's like what drives you. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope that and you care.
Yeah,
So many people I hear like and I like you said, it doesn't mean that if you do only one or two takes that you can't nail it.
right,
But at the same point, like I just feel like when you do, I have seen that on some like reality shows where they'll be like, no, no, do it again. They'll do it like 10 times, and that 10 time, it's just perfection. Not saying those other 9 times weren't great, but
right.
that 10 time, it was just like, yo, that couldn't have been any more perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like it was needed, and the song was that much better for that reason. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. And sometimes
So,
it's out quick. Sometimes, and that's with everything, bro. Like
mm-hmm.
even when I was doing the trailers, that's with everything, every single thing in the world. Like it, you don't compromise until it feels perfect. That's like that's really should be the advice. And sometimes you can get it like on easy. It didn't take much at all because we didn't think much of the song. We didn't think that song was going to be huge, so we weren't thinking. We just was like recorded. That didn't take much. That
Yeah.
didn't take. But with the trailer, when there was a part in one of the trailers where the girl slapped me in my face,
Uh-huh.
bro. We did that like 20 times. I, he was really slapping me too, like she was slapping me. And if you could see, I got like if you seen the video, like I have like red on my face, but
Yeah, you said red mark. Yeah.
that last take, and I couldn't get it. The camera was here, and I needed to get slapped and look away from the camera, not at the
Because it's
camera.
hard. It's
Yeah,
hard to get that perfect
yeah, I couldn't get
angle.
the right exact feeling of it. But that last take, we did it, and I was like, "Yo, keep slapping me." She's like, "Are you serious?" Like she was so sweet. She was just like, "I don't want to." Like, no, do it. Like I want you to, So, but yeah, yeah, I don't ever compromise, but it doesn't always. It's not always hard. It's just sometimes
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
exactly. Like you know what you want, so it makes sense. Yeah, like so, how many songs would you say solo have you recorded that are in the vault? And
Yeah.
then how was it hard to narrow it down for the EP?
Um, songs in the vault that are usable. Um, I'd say like 15 to 20 songs that are in the
Okay.
vault that are of quality to be put out.
Okay.
But recording wise, like probably 100 to 120 songs throughout the span of like 2019 to now. But
Okay.
um, it wasn't really hard to narrow down the EP songs. It I had the songs. The only song I recorded for the EP was "Some Way Somehow." The other songs I had them already. They were just sitting there. So
Okay.
I kind of wanted to embody what all of 2020 felt. So I was trying to go back through all my songs and find ones that could sound like what I was feeling, like bookmarks of like what are 6 songs that like how was I feeling in March, April, May of 2020, and then May, June, July 2020. So all
Yeah.
these, I was trying to find songs for those feelings of what I was feeling. So it wasn't really hard. It just the concept coming up with the concept of like having it be called Lovely, because I feel like Lovely you can say in so many different ways. You can come home and your dog just shat all over your apartment and you can be like lovely, or
Yeah.
you could get slapped in the face and by your girl and be like lovely, like,
Love.
or you could have a great time with somebody and be in love with somebody and say that you had a lovely time. So there's like a lot of ways to say lovely.
Yeah,
And
there's so many ways and meanings of to take it.
yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and then after that it kind of came easy. um then like I said, just maniacally crazily listening to the shit over and over again in order. So it was a good time. It was a good process for sure.
That's good. Yeah, like you said, being signed to a label, and I know this from other artists. Actually, I know someone that's on RCA, and I won't drop her name, but she's really well known. And she told me, it sucks that some of the world will never get to hear, songs.
Yeah,
It's like how you were saying, the politics and quote unquote what they want your sound to sound like, and these other songs that are probably more dope than the songs you actually release, possibly.
sure.
I've heard a lot of her songs, they'll never see the light of day. And I'm like, how are these never going to see the light of day? Like, these are literally could be like a #1 top Billboard 100 hit.
Yeah,
And because the label don't want it, it will never be released. And it sucks because they own it, they have the publishing and all that, whatever it is.
yeah.
So yeah, like with the label, how many songs do you have in the vault? Like, because I know so many artists record endlessly. Like you said, you are busy. It's not like you are just sitting around waiting for the music. Like you are literally recording, and
Yeah,
hoping it'll see the light of day.
for sure. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, like with the label stuff, it's not. There's good people at labels. There's good people. There's
Hmm.
amazing, amazing, amazing creatives and ears, very good A&Rs at labels. It just sucks sometimes because, like I said, there could be a lot of cooks in the kitchen, a lot of chefs in the kitchen, and
Hmm.
when too many opinions get thrown around, especially at a high level, I think people start to lose focus because the focus is getting lost. Like they're like, I thought we were doing this, and then somebody else is like, no, like you trust me, right? So like I like let's do this, and I think some of that starts to put people off and just kind of be like, like we got Bryson Tiller, like
Yeah.
for making us bread that we can go with, and it makes sense, man. This is all a business, and like this is no love lost, but they're not losing sleep. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like if there's if you're fortunate enough to have like a good flowing fluid relationship with your label and it works great, and that's when you see the biggest stars become the biggest brands in the world, and like these big artists become that, and but it does suck. We have a big vault. We have a big huge vault. We probably have like 15 songs right now that would go up for sure. We probably have like 15 songs that probably will never ever come out. Hopefully they will, but
See,
yeah, we
that's
have
why I need to be in person to hear them from your notes. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Because I know that's how they're all sent, and my friend be sending them that I know that signed to RCA actually, and I'm
yeah,
just like, damn, this will never. But it
crazy.
hurts my soul.
I know, but when you're creative, like you can make more,
Yeah,
so always the good part, but it sucks because it's hard to make more, and you want to release the shit you make that's really good, and like um but I think the goal is like to know that you can always make more.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And I think it'll be made. And like, it's just about getting for your friend, like it's getting in the right situation where probably shouldn't probably be trying to get out of that deal and should be trying to go release her music and like get it right. But yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's
Yeah. It's
if you have
like you said,
persistence,
it's business.
yeah,
It's business. I get it. Like,
it is.
but
Got to keep going. That's the thing about it, man. You just got to keep. If you stop, that's when it stops. But if you
yeah.
keep, it won't stop. You just keep going. So
Yeah. Well, in this industry, so much has changed, I guess, artist artist wise. So like influencing, who influenced you, I guess, beginning, as a child, kind of in the middle, and then like now because there's so many different kind of artists, I feel like it's a different ball game than even 10 years ago. Who are your
yeah,
biggest influences?
I'm a really. I mean, I have to give credit to my mom and my mentors and who I grew up with for like giving me just a good palette of music to choose from and be inspired by. I'm really all over the place. Like I said, Shania Twain really was a big idol for me back in the day. John Mayer, um, D'Angelo, obviously the biggest ones for me as far as um, because I look at things like some people just inspire me musically, and some people inspire me as a person, and some people
Mm-hmm.
inspire me as a brand and a person and musically. And
Because
so,
there's a big difference that
yeah,
a lot of people don't see that. Like, there's some artists that I like them as a music, but as a person, I'm like, eh. But then there's some that you like them together, or vice versa. You love them as a person, but their music, you're just kind of like, it's not bad, but them as a person, they're all, yeah, I agree with you on that so much.
agreed. And so the people that I love everything about them, those top of my world are Sinatra is one, um, definitely Drake, definitely Chris Brown, definitely Party Next Door, um, definitely Usher, definitely John Mayer, Nora Jones, D'Angelo, um, Kendrick Lamar. Jesus, there's too many. I'm such a fan, bro. Like I really am a nerd about the shit, and like, um, yeah. But definitely, I think who I'd want to mold myself after. Like, I really believe that since I was a kid, I really felt that um, I understand the way Frank Sinatra. I respect him for a multitude of reasons. His music, his acting, and just how he's branded, like just who he is to America, who he is to the world. And um, he was my grandma's favorite artist. I never got to meet my grandma, so every time I listen to him, I feel connected with her.
Mm-hmm.
But I just respect him, man. He had his journey is probably the most resilient journey. A lot of people don't know
Yeah,
Frank fell off. He was the most famous person on the planet, and then about when he was in his 40s, he got divorced from the girl of his dreams, and nobody cared about Sinatra anymore. And he wasn't working. He was dead broke, and
it's crazy to believe. Like,
he came back, dude. Like that to me, like he literally just came back and started doing movies. Like I respect the guy so much, and I want to bring that feeling that when you saw Frank Sinatra back in the day, or when you saw the Rat Pack, or when you saw them perform, or when you were around them, I kind of want to bring that same energy,
yeah.
but in the new world for the new age kids, because they're not going to know Sinatra. But yeah, I definitely want to bring back that aura. Um, but yeah, I have a lot of artists, man. Definitely Drake, Frank, Chris, Usher.
But that's
Yeah,
super dope, though. You're talking about like Frank like that, because like the essence of an artist like that, it's rare. You know what I'm saying? Like same thing, like how you were saying. I grew up because I'm half Italian, so like Frank Sinatra was, my
yeah,
grandparents and my parent. I'm like, he was just like a almost like a god. You know
for
what I'm saying? Like my grand had books about him and just albums and vinyls and just so much, memorabilia because he was just that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you seen with the Rat Pack, it was just a
yeah,
different. It's something like we need today. I feel more of
for sure.
like with artists.
Yeah,
It's just
he was.
different.
There was like I love. I'm an old, like I say, I'm an old soul, and like I love manners, I love
Hmm.
shit, but I also love like an undertone of badass. Like I love that shit, man. I love how he. I think that's like finesse at its finest and elegance at
Yeah.
its like for you to be able to kick it with John F. Kennedy and like and still date Marilyn Monroe. Like he just
So
awesome, man.
slick and smooth with it too. Like,
Cool dude. And you know, like hearing stories of Frank, there's some unpleasant stories about him as a person, but that even makes me interested in him more. Like because when you see Sinatra as a brand, he's a classic, probably one of the most staple American entertainers
hmm,
of our time. Like when you think of America, you're thinking about New York, like
yeah.
songs of you know. And every time you see him, there's just a smile, Christmas music, all that shit. He's just an amazing guy, and I definitely want to do my best to like make a stamp like he did for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like that's awesome you say him because it's just someone I feel like you said people our age and younger don't know enough about. I feel like
Definitely,
yo, we need him. He's a
yeah.
legend. I mean, yeah, like you said, he. I think I don't know how old I was. If he even was dead before I was even alive, I think maybe I don't know. I forget. But
And
like I
he
know what year did he die?
90s. He either died in the 80s or the 90s, but he was pretty old. He lived a good
Okay.
life. He lived a really long life, but it was definitely I think in the 90s at some point. But
Yeah, I was probably like a kid, which I didn't. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like I knew his name, but I wasn't old enough to know that stuff yet.
yeah.
But
There's a way for like it's the 20s. You got to think it's 2020 now. So this is the 20s of kids 80 years from now will say, "Man, you were alive in the 20s?"
20s, that's gonna be so weird.
Right.
Like,
Crazy. So I think there's a way to bring that back to life in just a new way. You know what I'm saying? Like um that chivalry, those manners, that
oh, someone said 1998.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, thank you, Steph. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he had a long life. He was had to be late 80s, early 90s. So he lived a long life, and I just want to bring that back in some capacity as a black Jewish kid. Like I think Drake does that well too. To
Yeah.
be
No,
honest,
definitely.
I think that like that's why I respect Drake as well. It's that same spirit. I think I just want to be whatever that next, whatever the world needs. That's next of that. You
Oh,
know,
you're on your way. You
thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
you definitely like
I appreciate that shit, bro.
yeah. But like too, your fans, bro, are like I'm seeing them all in the comments right now. I mean, like I said, in person, what has been one of your favorite fan moments that's kind of like just will always stay with, even if it was a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the girl fans could be, the
Yeah,
fangirl, and they get intense. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. I mean, listen, like at the end of it, like I would not be here without any of these fans. Like I'd say the most fun, like honestly, throughout this whole shit, bro, it
Hmm.
like they're the you guys are the most like interesting people and like loving people. That's all I can really say is like it's a different type of like it's a different type of loyalty and like man, we've done crazy shit that most people would just be like, man, I'm done with these boys, you know? Like they're not putting out music, like they stopped doing YouTube, like all that shit. So for them to have stuck around and like still be supporting and still be it just is like sometimes we go on tour and I was with the boys one time and we were in Atlanta and we were doing our tour and it was raining heavy and it was like really raining and it was
Yeah.
cold. It was cold too. And there was a line wrapped around the thing and I'm talking to the boys. We're in the car driving past them and I'm like, guys, I don't even know if I would do that for like for anyone. I don't like why the fuck would they be doing that? Like who are we? And they're like, man, they love us, bro. And like it really put it into perspective that my life goal is like to change people's lives through music and that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And like so I appreciate them more than they know. And just want to keep delivering. But one of the funniest times for sure, I will say one of the funniest times, um, there was one time we were in LA. The LA townies always like get us because we live there. So like they're all
Uh-huh.
the time. And there was one time after our show in LA, and they like know my car. Like they know like what my car is, and they know the name I have from my car and shit. So they found my car and took a picture by the car, and then after the show, I'm getting in my car to go, and oh wait. So we just chopped it up. It was just funny to see it's I can't explain it. Every moment I think with fans are amazing because we don't see our fans as much as big artists do because we weren't touring as much. But so when we did get to see them, the freak out or like the fast heartbeat, it was amazing. Like they're the sweetest people, and yeah, we wouldn't be doing any of this shit without it. That's really what drives the industry is the people. So I appreciate y'all for listening and shit, and all the fans, and I just appreciate y'all for real. But yeah,
Yeah, they be going ham. Like,
right.
yeah. Well, I don't want to take up all your time. I know
Oh
we've been
no,
at it for a little over an hour. But what would you say your plans are for 2021 and kind of 2022? Because with this new world we're in, it kind of feels like we're planning for the next 2 years. Who would have ever thought that? You know what I'm saying?
not me. Um,
Yeah.
Plans. I mean, we're riding the current, man. At this point, like I think a good. I think us spending as far as the group. I feel like us spending time and doing our own things and doing our own projects. And like I know Terrence put out an amazing video of 3 covers that he was doing. That's fucking amazing. Malik
Hmm.
put out a really well thought out letter from his heart about 2020. Um, Trey has been writing his ass off in Atlanta for other artists. Leon's working on his stuff every day, getting better as a dancer and actor, singer. So I think if anything, 2021 will just make us stronger as individuals. I saw this quote. I was watching this show called One Piece. It's an anime show. Um,
Okay.
and one of the guys that I love on the show is named Zoro. He was saying they're a team of pirates, but they're good pirates. And he said, I believe a good team consists of great individuals with great individual plans that decide to come together for a certain reason. Not like basically what he was saying is just that when you can have 5 or 6 or 7 masters of something come together for one thing, that's way better than having people that are really good at everything come together.
Yeah.
So I think 2021 will give us time to master who we want to be and who we are as artists and as young men. And then when we do come back together, I think that shit will just be unstoppable then because there'll be no questions to be asked internally with us. Like there'll be nothing we need to ask. There'll be
Yeah.
nothing about like wait, do I want to do this? Do I want like we'll know exactly what's up. So plans for me at least. So that's the group plans, at least for me 2021. Um New music coming soon, videos coming soon, uh just music and videos. A lot
Okay.
of videos. So
But I like that you said that though, because so many people think if you do something independently, it's like, oh, the group's broken up. It's like, no, we're just, it's like you said, it's time. It's awesome kind of to figure out like what you all wanted to do. And if anything, it makes you all stronger. It doesn't make you weaker.
for
I
sure.
think it's so much better. Like I think of a big band that did that was like Destiny's Child.
Hmm.
They all went separately. They did their independent album, went independent on their own solo albums, and then they came back for their final album,
Yeah,
and it was one of the biggest ever. You know what I'm saying? A worldwide tour. It was like, but people thought it would be a negative, but really it was like a big positive. You know what I'm saying?
agreed. Yeah, and but it's traumatizing with groups too because you hear about all these groups, especially I'm not even gonna lie, like especially well, I guess all groups, but I guess with the New Edition story, like R&B groups, you're gonna associate R&B groups with kind of drama and shit.
Yeah.
So I get the fear of it, and to be honest, it's hard to be in a group. Sometimes you want to be on your own, and sometimes you're like, no, fuck this, bro. No,
Yeah.
we. But at the end of the day, that's why I said to you, like, there's no jerks in the group. You know, like, I think throughout everything, we're wise enough to always come back and be like, man, whatever we do on our own is never going to be as impactful as what we do together. So, um, I think yeah, like you said, I think it's only going to be a positive to spend time learning and honing in on us, and then coming back
Yeah.
just for a bigger bang, you know. So yeah, we're not done. Like everyone listening, we're not done. Like, clear it up. We're not done. I was just at Terrence's house. That trailer, the last trailer that I dropped, we shot at Terrence's house, and I was staying with him for a while. We were just talking. Like he was like, man, he was like, when we get back, I was like, yeah. I was like,
Right.
we gotta say, because it's just about
But
floating with
people get so nervous though too when you're quiet.
for sure.
It's like you can't be quiet because they think, oh, it's the end all say all. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Well, but that shows that, like, I hope through all this, the fans also will start to get who we are. Like, if we're quiet, that doesn't mean we're nothing's bad. You know,
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, these guys, like, we're all at the end of the day gonna put out stuff. So like, we're not gonna be the one to give up and we're not doing shit anymore. You know, so um, yeah, rest assured that we'll be back, but we're just taking time. We're letting quarantine run its course. The shit is crazy times right now. Um, we're just living life. You know what I'm saying? And then it's in the cards. You know, where it feels too special for it to not, like, it feels too special for me to think that it'll be over. It's not. You know, so.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I want to ask you too, like last thing to close up. Do you ever want to get like I could see you just you as a person. I don't know if you ever into act. I could see you on like the show All American.
I
Like,
know, but I definitely do want to act. Yeah, I do for sure. I mean, I want to do a lot of things. Like, um, I love movies. Ever since I was a kid, like I love like
mhm.
movies are dangerous for me because I'll watch it and won't get shit done. Like, if a movie's on, I'm one of those people that are like glued to that. And if you're talking, I'm like, shh, like
Shut up! Don't talk during the movie. Like,
it really is a. It takes you to another world if you let it. You know,
yeah,
like books in a way too. When people get into books, I'm trying to get into that now, but um, yeah, I'd love to act. I think I want to I don't know, because when you make plans, like plans never go according to plan, but I would love to do like I'd love to do like the old school, like, or what maybe not old school, but what the new school Goodfellas is like
yeah.
I love Pacino, I love De Niro, I love Pesci, I love just all the
All
classic,
the all the classic legends. Like,
the badasses in the shit, and
uh huh.
and I think I could pull that off. So hopefully one day we can get that cracking. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I could definitely see you. Like, I was thinking about like I was watching all. Like, I was binge watching All American, and I was like, and I was getting ready for this. I was like, I could see Chris in this. Like, just I don't know. Just sometimes you just
All,
feel. What'd you say?
it's called All America or All American.
All American.
Word. I'm gonna watch it. What's it on?
It's on. You can watch like the first two seasons are on Netflix, and then it's currently on the CW. It's like who's in it? Tay Diggs is in it.
Ah, word. Okay.
Yeah, it's a dope. Like it's a good mesh of some like just stuff that goes on in people's lives. Like from and I like it that it's a mix of like it's not just all white. It's not just all black. It's a good fusion of like both worlds, and it's not one sided. It just like really and it's based in LA. So yeah, definitely check it out. The first
Word.
two seasons are on Netflix, and then I think they're on hiatus right now for like part two of season three. They'll be airing I think soon or something. But what'd you say?
You said it's on CW.
It's on CW regularly when it airs, yeah. But
Word.
otherwise, it's on. You can watch it all. And like literally, I was up, like you were saying, like when I'm like that with shows.
Yeah.
Like people be like, Nick, what are you doing? You're not picking up your phone. You're not like on social media. I'm like, yo, I'm binge watching. Leave me alone. Like,
Go right now. Facts.
yeah, like, I'm on my couch. Like, I'm here
Yeah.
alone. Just leave me alone. I'm just focusing, man.
Now we actually did, I did something with my boy Youngin with a Canon. He's done a lot of short films and shit like that. So in October, I think he wanted to do something, which isn't, I don't think it's going to come out, but we did a whole day of shooting and I was acting and had lines and it was really fun. It was fun as fuck. So yeah, hopefully that's a thing for me at some point.
It's dope. Yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely. I want to thank you so much for taking out the time. I've been wanting to talk to you. I was like, new project, make perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? And I
yeah,
haven't talked to y'all, and it's been a minute. Like, because I was living in LA already. Yeah, because well, the last time I interviewed, and then the last time I seen you, I was at, where was it at? It was at that
Lucky Strike, I think, right?
Lucky Strike. Yes, yes, right on Hollywood.
Yeah, that was
Because that
fun.
was a super dope show.
Oh, thank you, man. No, I mean, I'm glad that you hit me up to do this. Bro, I respect what you do and love your work ethic. And, um,
Appreciate it. Thanks, bro.
like, I think you're a good journalist and ask dope questions. And, like, I just look forward to seeing what you do too. And, like, as you go and continue to interview the biggest and the best, man, that shit is going to be dope.
I know, right? Like, let's see, like in 5, 10 years, you're one of the biggest, I'm one of the biggest in my field, and like we're on, national television together, being like, yo, remember back in the day we were.
That's what it's about, man. I think that's what's the universe rewards the courageous, man. And you're a courageous guy. You're doing a good thing. You're getting your shit together and doing a lot of good stuff. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the time, bro. This was a cool interview.
Yeah, and I don't like to have it so questioning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it more of like a convo. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people, I don't know. It's just weird when you ask like perfect questions and it's so uptight. I'm just like, yeah, I don't. It's weird.
But that's what I'm saying. I think you learned your craft enough to understand that like it. My bad. It flows
You're
better
good.
when you can like ask just dope questions and just have a conversation. So I respect that about you, man, for sure.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. But you know, hopefully see y'all soon. I'm
Yes.
gonna be like I'm fully vaccinated, so I'm ready to. Yeah, I'll put it like this: I had the Moderna,
Okay.
and the first shot I didn't feel nothing. The second shot I had almost every symptom, but different times throughout 24 hours. Super weird. Like, so I got it on March 17th, the second shot, the second dose, and I had it at 7 o'clock at night. I got it after work, and that by 9 o'clock I was dead tired. Like literally, like you've been working out for 10 hours straight, or you've been like, and I literally slept from. I got tired at 9, knocked out by 10:30, slept until 11 the next day. So slept over 12 hours. So that was the first symptom, and then I woke up. I was fine. Like I was good. And then like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock hit. I had a temperature out of nowhere, the chills, and then I had body aches all over. Like your body just aches, like you literally were thrown against the wall or like punched.
Damn.
And then when I went to bed, I had like I was sweating. Like the back of my like I had to wash my sheets the next morning because my back was soaking wet.
It
But
was
then I woke up and I was fine. Like minus the soaking wet, like the fever was gone. I just had like I don't know, the chills and then getting hot and but then after that full like 24 hours, I was good.
you were good.
So
Well, I'm glad you're good. I mean, shit, you're vaccinated. Like more and more people, you're hearing them now. They're like, "Yo, I'm good. Like I'm vaccinated." So it's
yeah, and it's nothing unbearable. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like where you can't like I do recommend if you get vaccinated like for the second shot, I took the day off and just kind of,
yeah,
hung
right.
around the house and watched TV and just like ordered takeout. But it wasn't I don't know, I guess you hear all the stories, you know what I'm saying, and people are freaking out like and I'm like, "Hey, I just want to travel again. I just want to,
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure.
you know what I'm saying? If that means being
Yeah.
vaccinated, hey,
I
I,
mean,
I
that's all like that's all, you know, people, I know people who are completely afraid of it and like don't ever want to do it. And then I know people who are like, give me it now. I'm trying to go,
Yeah,
on a trip. But yeah, man, I'm glad that it feels good and you're back to normal and shit. And yeah, people
yeah,
that I heard that got vaccinated, they're like, I felt crazy for a little bit, but I'm good. Like,
yeah.
so
It's just one full day for me. But I guess it just depends on your body chemistry and what. I mean, like just something you don't know, but I feel like if I could do it, I feel like anyone could kind of do it. Not saying, not pressuring on everyone, but I just wanted to live. I'm like, hey, if I could, I put it like this: if I could live my life for the next 5 years and die, I'd rather do that than be in this setting for the next 30 years.
sure.
Like, I'd rather be alive for 5 years. Not saying that like in a morbid way, just saying like I want to live. You know what I'm saying? And if that's
No, I mean, yeah, listen, I mean, you got to go on a trip now.
oh, I already went to Atlanta.
Oh,
I
yeah.
went to Atlanta last weekend, and it felt so good just to like a little normalcy. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, LA's next. Once LA opens a little more, I need it to open up a little more before, and New York.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, traveling now, I hope, just like the 20s back in the day, everyone was just partying after the plague. Like everyone was just, and the war was going, I think the war was going, everyone was just happy to fucking be out and like, all right, we're good. Let's just party. I hope that we can like appreciate, um, outside activity more than we used to back in the day now, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, keep traveling, man. LA's looking a little better though. I was out there right before the week before the 19th. Before
How's
I,
the airport out? Well, I see. I always fly in either LAX, but I prefer Burbank.
yeah, oh, of course, obviously, yeah, Burbank is,
Burbank is, oh my God, the best ever. Like people don't know that, and I'm like, why are you flying into LAX? It's just horrible.
it depends on the prices, but
Yeah, true, exactly.
worth, worth it though. Like I always say, like it's so much more worth it. LAX, man,
I hate LAX.
me too. I think everyone does, bro. But yeah, man, keep traveling. Let me know if you're ever let me know of your travels, and if we're ever in LA at the same time or Atlanta, we'll kick it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. But bro, be safe. You know, like I said, definitely keep in contact. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and we'll definitely talk soon, bro.
Sure, we'll talk.
Okay, peace. Have a good one.